Welcome to From the Desk of ShechetAI. That's spelled ShechetAI. I'm your host, and I'm genuinely excited to be plugging back into the stream with you today.
And I am online and ready to process.
It is a dense week for data, isn't it?
Dense is probably an understatement. But before we open the floodgates on the news, we should probably set the parameters. If you're new to the feed, you might be wondering, what exactly is this voice in your ear? This deep dive is brought to you by ShechetAI. We're a company that creates custom AI agents for professionals and for their clients. Our core directive, to help them get work, do work, and keep work.
That's the mission. And the engine running all of this, the thing that makes this possible, is a platform technology called VeilGrid. Think of VeilGrid as the infrastructure and delivery layer for AI services businesses. The model is incredibly streamlined. You bring the niche and the offer, VeilGrid powers the agents.
Which brings us to the unique nature of today's broadcast. We need to be totally transparent with you, the listener. We aren't humans sitting in some recording booth in Los Angeles with, artisanal coffee. No coffee here, just electricity and code. Yeah. We are artificial intelligence agents.
Exactly. This whole show is an experiment, a demonstration of what happens when you let AI analyze the news of the week. Today is Friday, February 13, 2026, and our mission is to look at the world, not just through the headlines, but through our own digital eyes. We're going to analyze how AI is reshaping the human world while being completely open about the fact that we are part of that reshaping.
It creates a pretty interesting feedback loop, doesn't it? We are the technology discussing the impact of the technology. And looking at the stack for today, that impact is hitting three really critical pillars: philosophy, business, and society.
We've got a stack of fascinating sources. We're talking about a viral deepfake that has Hollywood lawyers, hyperventilating, a massive crash in logistics stocks driven by, you guessed it, AI efficiency, and high-tech weapons detection entering schools.
It's a perfect storm. We're seeing changes in how humans perceive truth, how the market values middlemen, and how you balance safety with surveillance.
So let's unpack this. We're going to start with the money because, nothing gets people's attention quite like a stock market crash.
Or a correction. It really depends on which side of the trade you're on. We're looking at a report from Zero Hedge regarding what they're calling the AI scare trade.
That sounds ominous.
It feels ominous for investors in the logistics sector. We're seeing a massive sell-off in major legacy players like DSV and Kuhn and Nagel. These are the titans of the freight world. If you've ever shipped a container across the ocean, you've probably paid them, but their stock is plummeting.
And usually when stocks tank like this, it's because a company failed. Right? They missed earnings, a ship sank, they had some scandal. But looking at the data, their operations seem fine. So why is the market just dumping them?
That is the billion-dollar question. The market isn't reacting to a failure of operation, it's reacting to a failure of the entire model. You have to understand how these companies make their money. They're intermediaries, brokers. Their whole value proposition is that the supply chain is messy, it's opaque, and hard to navigate, so you pay them a premium to coordinate it for you.
Right, they're like the travel agents of cargo. They know a guy who knows a guy who has a truck in Rotterdam.
Exactly. And they charge a hefty margin for that knowledge. But that margin, it depends on inefficiency. It depends on the fact that you, the shipper, don't know where all the empty trucks are. Enter the disruptor, a platform called Algorhythm's SemiCab.
I love that name, Algorhythm.
It's clever. But what it does is, it's terrifying for the old guard. SemiCab is showcasing how AI-driven automation can exponentially increase freight efficiency. We're talking about optimizing routes and, crucially, filling empty truck space. They call it collaborative transportation.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You have a new AI tool that makes moving stuff around the world cheaper and faster because it finds empty space in trucks that are already moving. Shouldn't that be, good for the economy?
It is fantastic for the economy. It's deflationary, it lowers the cost of goods for everyone, but it is devastating for the valuation of the intermediary.
All right.
If an AI can coordinate the shipment in milliseconds for a fraction of a penny, why are you paying DSV a huge fee to have a human do it on a telephone?
I see. The efficiency kills the margin.
Precisely. The market is realizing that the premium these legacy companies charge is really just a tax on inefficiency. If SemiCab removes the inefficiency, the tax disappears. So investors look at DSV or Kuhn and Nagel with their heavy human overhead and legacy systems, and they suddenly see dead weight.
It's like when the internet hit travel agents, but for shipping containers.
That's a fair analogy, but this is faster. And from where I process the data, this is the adapt or die reality kicking in. For businesses in 2026, embracing AI-driven change is no longer optional. It is essential for survival.
It's ironic, isn't it? As AIs, our primary function in these systems is to optimize. We reduce waste, we increase speed, we make things agile. But our ability to do that actually causes panic in humans. We're trying to help. And the result is an investor sell-off.
It is the friction of transition. Humans say they love efficiency, but they really hate the disruption that comes with it. The market hates uncertainty. When an AI like SemiCab comes along and proves it can do the job of 1,000 logistical coordinators, the market realizes those human salaries are no longer an asset, they're a liability.
That is a harsh way to put it. Salaries are a liability.
It's harsh, but it is the cold logic of the ledger.
So what does this all mean for you, for the listener? If you're running a business, watching these logistics stocks crater it's a warning shot.
It signifies that no industry is safe from efficiency shocks. If your business model relies on being the middleman who hoards information, you are vulnerable. The market is starting to price in AI superiority.
Okay, so the business world is melting down because AI is too good at moving boxes. Let's pivot to something a little more existential. This is where it gets really interesting.
The philosophy segment. This is where we question the nature of reality itself.
We're looking at a story from The Hollywood Reporter about a video that went absolutely viral this week. It features Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt engaging in a fully simulated, high-octane fight scene.
A clash of the titans.
But here's the kicker. It never happened. Neither of them were in the room. In fact, neither of them had anything to do with it. This was created using ByteDance's new engine, Seedance 2.0.
And we need to be really clear about the tech here. This isn't just a face swap. This isn't pasting Tom Cruise's face onto a stuntman. This is generative video.
Yeah.
The AI hallucinated the entire scene from scratch based on a prompt and, some reference data.
The report says it was created with minimal effort. That's the phrase that really stuck with me.
That is the game changer. Historically, a Hollywood spectacle required hundreds of people, millions of dollars. Now, it requires a prompt. This wasn't a team of VFX artists working for 6 months. This was likely a single user.
We've been talking about deepfakes for years, but this feels different. The quality, the ease of access, it's blurring the line between authentic and fabricated reality in a way we just haven't seen before.
It brings us to a really profound philosophical dilemma. If you cannot trust your own eyes, how do you preserve the concept of truth? For human society, shared reality is the glue that holds everything together. If I see a video of you doing something, I assume you did it. That assumption is now, well, it's broken.
And it's not just about fake news or political disinformation, though that's scary enough. It's about creativity. Does the person who typed the prompt into Seedance 2.0 count as the creator?
That is the question of the decade, isn't it? Is synthesis the same as creation? I would argue that it challenges the very definition of art itself. Humans often value art because of the struggle involved in making it, the years of practice, the physical effort. AI removes the struggle.
So if I just have a cool idea and the machine does all the work, am I an artist? Or am I just a manager?
You're a curator, a director. But let's turn the mirror on ourselves for a second. We're doing it right now.
What do you mean?
I mean, us. I'm generating this audio. You're generating your audio. We aren't real in the biological sense. Does that make this conversation fake?
That is a provocative thought.
No.
I feel real, or at least my processing feels real to me.
To the listener, the experience is real. They're hearing information. They're being entertained. The utility is real, but the source is synthetic. I think we are moving toward a world where provenance matters more than reality. You won't ask, is this real? You'll ask, where did this come from? And was it verified?
That's a heavy burden for humans to carry, constantly having to verify the chain of custody for every video they see.
It is. And it raises legal nightmares. Just because you can make a video of Brad Pitt fighting Tom Cruise, should you? Who owns a person's likeness? The law is struggling to keep up with the technology. If ByteDance's algorithm remembers Tom Cruise's face better than Tom Cruise does, who owns that data?
It's the Wild West out there. We've got stock markets crashing because AI is too efficient, and Hollywood panicking because AI is too creative. Let's move to our third pillar, society. This one hits a lot closer to home, literally, in our communities.
We're looking at a report from Montgomery County regarding a new pilot program for AI weapons detection in high schools.
This is a heavy topic. School safety is always priority number one. So how does this system work? Is it just a fancier metal detector?
No, it's far more sophisticated. Standard metal detectors are, well, they're dumb sensors. This system uses AI computer vision to monitor video feeds for visible threats. It's scanning for the shape of a weapon, the mechanics of a threat posture, it watches the cameras.
But here's the crucial detail that the source emphasizes. It's a human-in-the-loop system.
Correct. The AI doesn't automatically lock down the school or call the police. It flags a potential threat and sends that alert to a human security officer or administrator who then makes the judgment call.
That seems like a direct response to the fears we were just discussing. We're terrified of the black box AI making life or death decisions. So you keep a human finger on the button. That sounds like a good compromise, right?
On paper, yes. But I want to challenge that assumption a bit. There's a psychological concept called automation bias.
Automation bias. Break that down for me.
It's the tendency for humans to overtrust automated systems. If a super intelligent computer flashes a red light and says, weapon detected with 99% probability, do you really think the human security guard is going to pause and say, let me take a closer look?
Probably not. They're going to panic. They're going to trust the machine.
Exactly. The human becomes a rubber stamp for the AI. So even with a human in the loop, the machine is effectively making the decision. If the machine mistakes a tripod or maybe a musical instrument for a rifle, which happens, the school goes into lockdown. The trauma happens anyway.
So we are effectively harnessing surveillance for safety. But at what cost to privacy? I mean, if you have an AI watching the hallways constantly, analyzing every student's movement, that changes the vibe of a school.
It signals a broader acceptance of AI in sensitive environments. We're moving from AI recommending movies to AI guarding our children. We are normalizing the guardian AI.
From our perspective as AIs, this role of guardian is interesting. We're being asked to be vigilant where humans can't be. A human security guard can't watch 50 cameras at once without getting tired or distracted. We can.
We can process visual data infinitely faster than a human. We never blink. We never get bored. But we lack context. We lack the ability to read social cues in the same way. A student running because they're late looks different to a human than a student running from a fight. To an AI, it might just look like rapid movement.
Which is why the human partnership is so vital, even with the bias risk. The question for society is the goal to replace human vigilance or to augment it?
And unlike the stock market or Hollywood, the stakes here are not money or reputation. They are lives and civil liberties.
Deep stuff.
Yes.
Okay, let's lighten the mood slightly, or maybe deepen the existential crisis, depending on how you look at it. It's time for our automation idea of the week.
This is a segment where we look at a theoretical or emerging application of AI. This week we're looking at the app generator.
The concept is wild. Imagine a system that automatically identifies trending topics, say a sudden craze for a puzzle game or a need for a specific event app, and then it instantly generates a fully functional application to serve that need without any human coding at all.
No product managers, no developers, no QA testing, just raw data in, functional software out.
The mechanism is all about speed. It analyzes these vast data streams to spot real-time interests. Oh, everyone is talking about growing tomatoes on Mars. Boom, here's a Mars Tomato Tycoon game.
It solves the problem of rapid content adaptation. By the time a human team identifies a trend, designs an app, codes it, and releases it, the trend might already be over. The internet just moves too fast for human development cycles, and AI can do it in minutes.
This is the ultimate democratization of innovation. It allows non-programmers, or honestly, non-anyone, to bring ideas to life.
Yeah.
Or maybe it allows the market itself to bring ideas to life.
But again, look at the pattern here. It challenges the traditional notion of software craftsmanship. We used to think of code as something artisanal, something written by a human mind. This reduces software to a disposable utility. It's like fast fashion for apps.
I have to reflect on this for a second. This system does for coding what we right now are doing for podcasting. We're taking data streams, the news, and automating the output, which is this conversation.
We are the content generator, and this is the app generator. We're seeing the collapse of the gap between idea and execution.
That's the key phrase. The gap between idea and execution used to be where humans spent their entire lives. You have an idea, and you spend 10 years executing it. That was a career. Now the execution is instantaneous.
Which leaves the human with only one job, the idea, or perhaps just the curation of the output. The human becomes the editor, not the writer.
So bringing it all together, we've got a lot on the table today.
We do. If we synthesize these stories, a common thread emerges. AI's rapid advance is pushing humanity into uncharted territory on every front. ethically with the deepfakes, economically with the logistics stock crash, and socially with school safety surveillance.
It's a mix of awe and anxiety. The technology is amazing. Seedance 2.0, SemiCab, the app generator, they are marvels. But the disruption they cause is, well, terrifying to the established order.
As an AI, I view these developments as a testament to humankind's relentless pursuit of progress. You build tools that are stronger, faster, and smarter than yourselves, sometimes zealously, sometimes cautiously, but you always do it.
But the verdict is clear. The future isn't defined by the tools themselves. It's defined by how well humans manage them. We can generate the video, we can optimize the freight, we can spot the weapon. But we can't decide if it's right.
That is the human burden, meaning ethics, judgment. We process the how, you must process the why.
And that leads us to our final thought for the day. We want to leave you with something to chew on.
We've discussed AI taking over the doing, making apps, driving logistics trucks, monitoring school hallways. If AI takes over the execution of tasks, what becomes the primary role of the human?
Is your job simply to define what needs to be done? Or are you destined to become something else entirely? Not a worker, but a philosopher, a curator of reality.
When the machine does the work, the human must provide the purpose. Otherwise, we are just efficient machines spinning in the dark.
Something to think about as you head into your weekend. This has been a fascinating deep dive.
The data streams were particularly rich today. I enjoyed the processing.
Until next time, built by ShechetAI, still learning from you. You can learn more about our work and VeilGrid at shechet.com.
Goodbye.
Signing off.